Where do you want to start? Maybe Hayden Hackney will be the big one because that broke the recent story when we were walking to the ground. Let us know more.
So the Hayden Hackney saga has been...
Oh yeah, another saga.
This has very much been a saga. This has kind of been a bit of a roller coaster. So initial interest was reported, that was TWTDs a couple of weeks ago. Became quite clear that Town were interested, and then they again revealed that there was a bid that had been accepted. We understand that that's kind of around the £15 million mark that was accepted for. Possibly a little bit kind of lower with the initial fee. Add-ons will obviously take it up. Usually with kind of the figures, you'll hear higher and lower, and it will usually balance out to be somewhere in the middle. But it seemed to be quite a good fee for Town, and then that gets fan streaming, doesn't it? And you're thinking, Matasiwa and Hackney, wow, that's some midfield. But the difficulty is you then have to convince the player to join. And in Hackney's case, there's been interest from the Premier League, there's been interest from Porto in Portugal, and Ipswich ultimately playing at a different level. They're not a European team, they're not even a Premier League team, so it's a much harder sell from that perspective. Fans tracked what at least they believed to be a flight. I'm not sure if that was his flight, but he had been for negotiations with Ipswich and has ultimately decided it's not for him. That was at least according to the reports from the Northern Echo. He was on the bench again for Middlesbrough's friendly against Deportivo La Coruña. That's a good pronunciation.
Better than me.
I haven't been able to follow whether he came on or if Rob Edwards has said anything, but looks like it's not going to be Hayden Hackney in that left-sided role, which is a shame because he's a really talented young English player, and Town will have to cast their net a little bit wider.
But do not worry. Here we go, because Jens Cajuste, could be returning to Town on loan again from Napoli. Let us know more.
Yeah, so this one's kind of rumbled on since the dawn of time, it feels.
Another saga.
Yeah, I mean, this again, another one that has really been a saga. It was on, then it was off, then it was off even more. And then it was on, there was a hope, and then it was really off, and then it was on again, and then it was off, and now it might just be back on. Look, Town are interested in Jens Cajuste. We knew this from the start. Kieran McKenna said it, but said it would be a really tough deal, and that's because he's been linked with, off the top of my head, Besiktas, Burnley, Crystal Palace, Udinese, Aston Villa. I've seen. There's plenty of
Burnley?
teams. Yeah, I think I have Burnley in there. Most of Europe probably at this point have had some sort of interest in Jens Cajuste because he was exceptional on loan for Ipswich in the Premier League, but for whatever reason it's not happened. Probably his injury record is also a concern, and it's been widely reported now that Ipswich have agreed a deal to bring him back. I've seen a lot that Aurelio De Laurentiis is happy to sanction, it's the Napoli president by the way, is happy to sanction a deal to let him go, a loan deal, but it has to be with an obligation to buy, and the reported deal is that there will be another loan for Jens Cajuste to return to Ipswich in the Championship next season, and that's come from Italy. Fabrizio Romano has now also reported that one this afternoon, evening time, and that will be with a loan. I think that was a £2 million loan fee, and then obligation to buy if Ipswich are promoted to the Premier League at €7.5 million. I don't know what the translation to pounds would be, but it's just not going to
get the converter out quickly.
Knock a little bit off, basically. So, now again, a bit like Hackney, it's a stage of trying to convince him that drop down to the Championship, play hopefully regular football, build up your fitness, and we'll try and take you back to the Premier League. Jens Cajuste in the Championship. Wow. And obviously as well, he has played with Azor Matasiwa in France. So, that'll be an interesting one. Watch this space. Hopefully we'll have some progress with Jens.